You are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's April 16th, day after tax day. I am literally 24 hours from making a large tax payment to the U.S. government. I did it with clenched teeth, holding my breath, and it was bloody painful. In particular, with what happened this weekend with Israel and Iran and all the insanity in the world. I really hate my taxes going to war and harming people. Let's see here. I've got this is the self view. Did I do that correctly, guys? I'm learning. I'm learning how to do all this YouTube stuff and try to run these. Would love to have you guys come in, repost the space. Let's have a conversation. Would love questions and answers. I know everyone is holding on with bated breath related to Bitcoin. Let's see if I can just pull this chart up here. And the graphics are there, I think. I think this is happening. We're at $62,920.40. I know everyone's panicked. You're freaking out. You're wondering why the price has moved from 70 to 62. We had a country send 400 drones on Friday, telegraph, big blast telegraph of we're going to send 400 drones, more theater in my opinion than anything, and we've had the market sell off. Gosh, we've had oil come off a little bit, we've had silver come off a little bit, and we've had gold. And the purpose of this particular show today was silver, gold, and crude oil are beginning to perform as, good morning, Tom Crown, are beginning to perform as if we are at war or going to war. I hear people talking about crude oil going to $120. I don't think crude oil is going to see $120, and if it does, it's going to be a very, very quick blip. There is so much crude oil in the market today that I think you're going to find that Saudi, Russia, and others are going to hold off crude oil. It benefits them to hold off crude oil. The embargoes and the sanctions have done nothing but improve the balance sheet of Russia because they've been able to sell it into the market through the just setting up a bunch of entities in various countries, and then those guys buy cheap Russian crude oil and then make it available to India and other countries. So it's another little Ponzi game that's going on. You never stop the flow of crude oil. I'll remind you guys, during the ISIS campaign, during that theater, ISIS was going into refineries, stealing crude oil. They were prohibited from selling it, so they just sold it at a $30 discount, and not one of those barrels stopped flowing. So this doesn't work. I don't know when we're going to figure out that sanctions, embargoes like this do not work. They actually create this bubble effect where you have a balloon full of water and you try to squeeze it and it pops out at the other end. That's all this ever does. So I think, the message here for me, I bought Bitcoin last night at 63.7, I think it was. No, it's 63.6. I paid my taxes, so I know what excess cash I have now. And making a decision. I'm actually challenging my own thought process here. Do I sell the silver? Let's go check silver's price. Do I sell the silver that I have accumulated since 2011 as, quite frankly, as a hedge against what I thought would be the eventual collapse of the US dollar? That was 2011. That's 13 years ago. Gosh, the dollar hasn't collapsed. We continue to print more and more of it. We will print more and more no matter who comes into office in November. We're going to be a printing machine by the time we get to an election, if we get to an election. But what fathoms me is, what I'm challenging right now is like silver. You guys will remember I moved about 23,000 ounces of silver from a vault here, and it made it to my garage, and only by the time it made it to the garage, it went up $2. I was like, hey, let's not sell that right now. So I'm really challenging myself, and I know a lot of commodity traders and silver and gold guys, and there's some real bullish thoughts on what silver could do here. It's not at all-time highs. It's in fact, let me get out of this 4-hour chart. I don't even know why I would be on a 4-hour chart. But if we look back at silver over a relatively decent period of time, let me just go to the weekly so I can get a real shot. You can see that although gold has pierced its all-time high, we are a long way from silver's high. And if silver and gold continue to work the way they've worked for decades, silver should start taking over the move. This may be different. It may be a different window of time for silver and gold, but it seems to me like silver has some room to move. And I'm debating whether I sell the silver at 28, 29. I think it's probably going to go higher than that. Or do I take the cash that's sitting in the bank? I would not deploy it into silver. No chance I would buy silver or gold here. But would I deploy, should I deploy the cash that I've already deployed the cash from the home I sold to buy Bitcoin? So I've done that. I've got these guys wanting me to sell Rolex watches and everything else that's like anything that's hanging around, man. These guys want me to sell my art to buy Bitcoin. That'll probably be the last thing I sell, by the way. So the question really is, do I buy here? Do I wait for the post-halving for this event that everyone keeps telling me will drive the price down and then drive the price right back up again? Do I sell silver? Do I do it all? What do you do? What do you do here? I think everyone's asking themselves, what do you do here? And quite frankly, I don't know. I think over a long period of time, I'm going to be extremely comfortable with Bitcoin at 62,000. I own it higher and I own it lower. My weighted average cost is much lower than it is here. I think the average Bitcoin acquisition, if I'm not mistaken, is around 45 right now. I'm a bit below that. So I could easily, feather in some volume here. It's only my ego. If I'm really honest, it's only my ego. I was telling Ryan just a little while ago, I'm like, hey man, I used to be able to buy, with the same amount of money, I used to be able to buy like 3 times as much Bitcoin. This is painful. So, I could wait. I could be a bottom feeder. I've never been a good bottom feeder. By bottom feeding, I mean really waiting for a total collapse. That would require me to have a bunch of money sitting on an exchange, exposed. That cash is just sitting there exposed. Could have them in stable coins, I guess. I tend to, when I put money on exchange, I tend to put it to work and then move those funds to protect them. Be really interested to see what you guys are doing. Like, what are the comments? Are you guys buying here? If you're buying, are you buying long term? Are you buying big whacks of this? Are you seeing your family move into this with any enthusiasm? I do think there's a new buyer coming to town, and I think he's a much richer, wealthier, more thoughtful, mature buyer than we've seen ever in Bitcoin's history. So that makes me very, very confident. What also makes me confident is many of the discussions I've had with some of the ETF providers, the guys that are really close to the investment world. That's cool. There's a little poll here that we just popped up. Are you buying here, or are you you're going to wait, or are you selling? Love to hear your views. But what I'm getting severe validation on is something that I have believed for some period of time. But just because I believe something doesn't mean that I go all in on it. I began asking professionals, and one of those was a gentleman from Bitwise yesterday, Juan, on a space that we had a few thousand people in the room. And Juan confirmed to me that the wirehouses and the big RIAs, we are still 3 to 7 months, 8 months from getting very large players to come into this. The wirehouses that are going to be making large purchases of Bitcoin. The marketing, as you guys have seen, the TD Ameritrade. Let's see if I can actually find that. The CD Ameritrade marketing program that was just launched. Who else launched one? I think it was one of the exchanges launched a really dumb campaign, marketing campaign. I think these are very, very positive. In fact, let me see if I can pull up TD Ameritrade plus Bitcoin. Let's see if this thing pops up. What is crypto basics? Let's see here. Sorry guys, I'm not really familiar how to move around this platform very well. That advertisement was absolutely spectacular. Let's see. Doesn't look like I can.
Did you know that you can pull up the chart of Bitcoin in Thinkorswim platform? Yeah.
That's wrong. Let's see if I can find that, guys. I don't want to bore you with that. Let's read some of these comments here. See if we can get some alpha from some of the comments. What do we have here? We have Tom Crown. Good morning, Gary. Tom, I like the work you do. I gotta say, and I love the glasses, dude. I think you ought to patent those glasses. Send me a pair, and maybe on Friday we could do a live stream together. Both of us wearing our polar, visual glasses for futuristic Bitcoin billionaires. Greg G is out there supporting us. He says that Tom Crown is a legend. Let's see. Mike says, don't panic. Buy more Bitcoin or hodl. Bitcoin trader. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, my man. The event is like C19 on 2020 for the markets. Oh, Daniel is saying this recent Iran event is simply another COVID-19 blip. Silver will keep running, in my opinion, says Bam Bam. Bam, I think you're probably right, buddy. The question is, how long does it roll? Am I better off in Bitcoin? Does it get a exponential run? I think there's a lot of people in silver, a lot of people in gold. If you believe in silver and gold, this is the question. If you think silver and gold are going to continue to run, why wouldn't Bitcoin outperform both of those, as it has done for the last 15 years? Love to know the answer to that question. If you believe that Bitcoin is going to, gold and silver are going to continue to run, why wouldn't Bitcoin do the same? Dime333 says, I sold all my Chevron shares last week and bought Bitcoin. Dude, welcome to the 21st century. That's awesome. I'll tell you, I think it's really interesting that the Exxon Mobils of the world, the Chevrons, are trading at such deep discounted PE multiples. That may suggest that the entire market is overpriced relative to the Chevrons, because I think Exxon, Chevron, these energy companies serve a base purpose that none of the conversations we're having, blockchain, Bitcoin, name your coin, name your blockchain, name your NVIDIA, name any process moving into the future. None of it works without Chevron. None of it works without Exxon. None of it works without fossil fuel. I got it. You guys can say, oh, solar is going to save the day. Solar is not going to save the day. It's not dense enough, and it's not cheap enough, and it's not scalable enough. So let's see some other comments here. Sean says, enjoyed your interview with Crypto Crow. I actually enjoyed meeting Crypto both at my dinner party and the other day. I got a monster amount of grief from a certain select group of people about doing that interview. I don't get it why you guys are so worried about me having someone in my home, in my place of business, to interview for me to become more educated instead of me reading a bunch of posts online I go to a guy that studied Cardano and other markets, and I have a conversation with him. I don't know what the big sin is here. In fact, all you're doing now is you're making me want to go interview Charles Hoskins, which I think we could probably have a 2 or 3 hour interview. And like, why wouldn't I want to meet with smart people? Huh? Why wouldn't I want to meet with smart people? Personally, I thought Crypto Crow was legitimate, good, respectful human being. Didn't try to shove anything down my throat. I didn't hear what I should, how I should treat my money. I've heard this kind of stuff before from people, and quite frankly, I find it a little, I don't know, dumb. Dumb would be a good, just start walking into guys that have been very, very successful and telling me how I should self-custody my coins, otherwise I'm an idiot. Stuff like that just turns me off, and it's going to turn off real investors. So I thought the interview was good. Appreciate your comments there, Sean. Simon Daniels, I bought the dip at 62. I also sold a lot of non-performing shit coins in order to do so, ignoring the doom-laden naysayers and just waiting for HKETF, Hong Kong ETF effect to catch up. Stay resolute, GC. Dude, I am one of the most resolute guys you're ever going to meet, so ain't nobody shaking me out of my coins. I can assure you that. Bam Bam says, I love Bitcoin, but silver is still great. Hedge during Biden times. Silver's great. Silver's not going to make the 21st century, though, guys. This will be the last time I hold silver and gold. I will pan out of silver and gold. Pun intended. How you like that? I just made that up on the fly. Pan out of silver and gold. I'll pan out of silver and gold at levels. In fact, see, this is a really good thing for me to be doing, even though I'm only talking to myself. What I just said doesn't make any sense. What I just said was, hey, I actually think silver and gold are continue to run. And if you remember the question I asked, if gold and silver are going to continue to run, why isn't Bitcoin going to perform? So if that's true, do I think Bitcoin, silver and gold are going to outperform Bitcoin in this next run? If I'm saying gold and silver are going to perform well in the coming shit show of elections, global conflicts, global fight for currency controls, freedom, everything that's going on our planet. If silver and gold are situated well to run, Bitcoin should run. And in fact, is it going to run as a laggard to silver and gold, or should it outperform silver and gold? I build a case that there's just not enough buyers in Bitcoin today, that most of the money that's been heavily invested, that's already concentrated in silver and gold, they are not in Bitcoin. So if that's correct, if my thesis is correct, silver and gold will continue to run, Bitcoin should outperform silver and gold. What am I holding on to silver for? What am I holding on to gold for? I should be converting my silver and gold here. Now, I may have a tax issue that I don't want to confront, but if my silver and gold or things that I can liquidate and then turn into Bitcoin, knowing that it's going to run much more aggressively than silver and gold, why wouldn't I be doing that today? That's the question. And I've got a bunch of my guys wanting me to take my 23,700 ounces at 20. I could sell that at 24 probably right now. Why wouldn't I take that, turn that into 800 grand? What would that be? About 23,700 ounces. Somebody can probably do this faster than I can. 23,700 times, call it 24. That's 568. Is that all that is? It used to be more than that. What's silver trading at? What is silver trading at? I just forgot now. Is it higher than? It's not higher. Gold's at 23.8, and silver is at 28. Oh, that's where I messed up. 28 times. Can you guys believe I just made a mistake? $663,800 divided by 62,000, call it 65,000. It's 10 Bitcoin. 10 Bitcoin. My man Ryan over here says, dude, that's crazy. 10 Bitcoin. See, this is the problem now I start running into. I think of 10 anything and it's like boring. Like I'm trying to get to 1,000 Bitcoin. Somebody asked me last night, hey, when would you be satisfied? 1,000 Bitcoin makes me happy. I mean, 1,000 Bitcoin, I think I can make massive changes on this planet with 1,000 Bitcoin. I just don't know right now how I can get there. I mean, I do know how I can get there, but it would require me to offer somebody a deal that's just almost impossible to pass up. Better not get into that though; it's a little complicated. Let's get back to some of the comments and questions. If you guys are enjoying the space, by the way, let me know because this is a little difficult for me. The X spaces are much easier for me to run. These, me being the only face, I find it to be really weird. Maybe my ego is not secure enough. But let's get to some of these. Let's see, William Clinkscales. Now there's a name. I've been holding on to little Ethereum. Do I just go all in, flip it into BTC, or hold both for the long-term haul? I'm 95% allocated. Both obviously way up since first buying. Oh, so you're in the money on both those. Bitcoin is a stronger asset though. So William is saying, hey, look, I'm into Ethereum. Probably don't love the way it's performing, but I made some money on it. Bro, it's a new tax year. I might look at taking my hit and converting. I own 11 Ethereum, and I hate all 11 of them. I do. I hate all 11 of them. I think it's going to non-perform. It ain't Bitcoin. Okay, this is one thing I know. I'll just say this is mathematically show you, the great school I went to and got my MBA. Just kidding. I didn't get an MBA. I got one. I got my MBA when I actually went into the workforce and started working. I build the case that Ethereum is going to be the disappointment in the digital industry. It's just valued too great. It's valued for almost perfection at this level. It's a $300 billion entity. Okay, okay, you guys are going to say it's not an entity. It's got an address. Okay, it's got a board, it's got a leader. Looks like an entity to me. I remember in 1999 to 2002, there were a lot of companies that were being valued for the internet, and they were going to be the next greatest thing. And there's dozens, hundreds of companies that we don't even use their names anymore. MySpace, AOL, just go down the list. And some giants, IBM, not related to the 2001 directly, but here's IBM. I remember IBM being the company you mentioned, General Electric. Haven't heard those two letters in a long time. I don't know, man. I don't see, personally, dude, I don't see, to me, the risk, if you've made money in Ethereum, I don't know why you wouldn't roll that over the cat daddy. All right, let's see. Dale Blast. The problem is the clickbait. The title said Cardone, all in on Cardano. Hey, guys, look, first off.
A question mark, to be fair.
That is a question. There's a question mark then. There also Cardone, Cardano. I think people are making a thing of it. The other thing you might want to remember, I don't do these, okay? I didn't put that label on there. I'm not going to look at every bloody label.
So I'm going to come yell at me on Twitter.
Yeah. Scream at Ryan, who does these cuts. But look, and I give these guys freedom to kind of post it up there. You guys have to read, you can't just go read the top of it. If you didn't listen, you should please listen to the interview. Dale Blast. Dale, if you would love to know if you watched the whole interview. I thought it was a really balanced interview. I wasn't there to make these guys wrong. If he would have said something stupid, I would have slammed him. I am not gonna shield or protect anybody. The guy did an awesome job, and quite frankly, anybody comes on a show with me, dude, like I give them a lot of credence, because I would not want to come here and try to pull some bullshit on me. It probably not going to be that fun for that particular person. Let's see here. Sandro went missing there. Eric Carlson, X Spaces are better, but mixing in YouTube will onboard more watchers. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. And I think I can actually get better at this. It's just a little weird on my ego. I'm like, hey, why are you on a video screen looking at yourself, talking to people? Let's see here. Gary, your volume is always low. Oh, is it really? Ryan, can we fix that, buddy? My volume is always low. You know why? It's because I'm not using a headpiece or a microphone. But hey, dude, that's really great feedback for me. Thank you so much. Is that better, Fancy?
So right here, says bar.
Yeah.
Pull it up a little bit.
Okay. Hopefully that's better, guys. And anybody's, if we have video or audio problems, please let me know. But I agree with these guys. I think my volume is a bit low usually, and I think it's because we're not using a mic. I have a computer problem that's, you guys don't give a fuck about my computer problem. So let's see. Greg Hawthorne says, a car is not a blender, so no point in thinking in terms of Bitcoin versus ETH. Well, sir, I actually would beg to differ. And a car is not a blender. Are you saying ETF, Ethereum is a blender and Bitcoin is a car? I don't really know. Look, I think that if I'm, maybe you have a lot more money than I do. I have to make a decision on where I want to concentrate my investment, because I have learned that concentrated investments are where I make all my money. I don't make my money being diversified. So having, by the way, no one's ever made a lot of money being diversified unless they got lucky. Even the people that inherit wealth, they inherited one guy's wealth. So it's total concentration. Dude, I just don't see Ethereum. When I compare Ethereum, you're right, a car versus a blender. But in fact, it's really like comparing a no human era race car to a Volkswagen who needs a human being, Vitalik, to drive the car for it to work. These are very, very different assets. Not even close. I don't agree with Raul Paul that says, and I'm sure Raul's worth a lot more than me. Maybe he talks to a lot more important people. I like his show. I like his information. But I think there is no chance that Ethereum outpaces Bitcoin ever. And that's a long time. And I rarely use the word ever. Let's see. And Richard Thompson says, yes, volume is low. Ethereum is centralized and gas fees are off the chain. Yeah, dude, I hear you. Gas fees are always going to change, though. Let's think about this. As demand goes up, gas fees are always going to change. You're going to see supply and demand pricing move around when there's lots of demand. When there's inscriptions being put on Bitcoin, you're going to use more capacity. So we're going to learn how to price all of this stuff. We're going to learn how to price all of this, whether it's the underlying coin, whether it's the protocols, whether it's the community value. Every piece of the value chain will be valued over time, and all the liabilities associated with, say, an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, those will be priced in correctly at some point also. Richard Thompson says, Gary, put your money in one coin and then focus on that. I did that and much more peace of mind. I have a lot of peace of mind, my friend. I sleep very, very well because I study a market extremely intensely, and then I place my bet on that data. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. I move on. change my bet, but to date, it's been absolutely an awesome play for me. And I have a lot of faith that it will continue to outperform all other asset classes because we're here. We're in the world today where we are digitizing planet Earth, and without Bitcoin and without some of these protocols, I think we're going to find that you're not going to manage the digitization of planet Earth with any of the tools that came before it. You know, you don't dig your way out of this hole with the same damn tools that dug the hole in the first place. Like, the system gets fixed from the outside. It will not get fixed from the inside. Okay, it's not fixable from the inside. Let's see. We had our vote. Ron, do we know what the poll results? Are you buying Bitcoin right now? 68% of the people said yes. We only have 114 votes. Shame on me for being such a low magnet for attention. Shame, shame, shame on Gary. Maybe we should change the title. Shame on Gary for being a punk. But 69% of the people say they're buying Bitcoin right now. Dude, well done for everybody that bought Bitcoin today. Would love to see you guys pop your fingers up if you bought Bitcoin. I bought it last night. I bought some on Friday. And I'm probably going to buy some today if I can get money transferred without too much hassle. And it's 62. I mean, love to hear people that haven't been buying today. Let's say that let's run another poll, Ron. Do you have cash post-tax day payments? And what are you doing with the cash, right? Are you going to deploy or are you waiting? Do you think 59 is going to happen? I mean, I've got some buddies like my friend Chris Inks. Chris, love you, dude. Love the work you're doing. He and I do a show every Monday or Tuesday night he does short-term trading, and I barely look at a short-term trading chart ever. Like, y'all saw this on a 4-hour chart earlier. That's about the lowest chart I ever look at. This is on a week. Yeah, this is on a week. This is the way, to me, you look at investing in Bitcoin, is over a long period of time. Let me get this graphic back up. Hey, I'm starting to do it right, huh, Ryan? So you can teach an old dog new tricks, okay? You just can't teach them quickly. But, like, you're going to short that? Like, really? Really? I can't short this chart, dude. This is $230, okay? If you just remove all of this, okay, let's not even include any of 2017 or above, okay? We're going to go by the high. In fact, let's play this little game right here. This little game is going to be on December the 11th, 2017. I could have paid the very top of that market at 19,666. I would have looked like an idiot, right? I would have been the biggest dumb ball in the history of mankind. I would then carry that price for, down to 50%, okay? I would literally carry that position from 20 down to 10 here. Down here is like I lost 70% of my value, right? I got wiped out. I'm a ding-dong. The only ding-dong thing about this guy buying here is that he didn't buy here, 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 and everywhere else along this curve, because today it's at 62. Now let's scale this properly. See, this is the piece people miss. This is buying the peak in 2017 right here. This is buying the peak. This is your mom, your sister, your wife, your husband, your daughter, your neighbor calling you an idiot, okay? What are they calling you now? They don't even talk to you now, okay? They're embarrassed to look at you now. But if you would have been buying this whole thing, you'd be rich. You would be super rich. Now, the question is, what would make anyone think this is going to stop? Why is it when price moves up, people want to find value? Like, oh, I need to buy it cheap. Why would you buy this curve cheap? And if you would buy, if you're sitting here thinking this thing's going to melt down to 30, unless you're selling it, I don't think you have any conviction, okay? So these people that come on here and go, Bitcoin's price too high. Dude, did you short it? Because if you didn't short it, I'd like you to shut the fuck up. I don't understand why you're even talking. Like, I am only saying, hey, look, I'm buying here. There's no chance of me shorting this. The only way I would short this, in fact, I wouldn't short it, but I might sell put options, an insurance package to somebody. Anybody out there that's scared of $55,000, I'll sell you a $55,000 insurance policy for up to 100 Bitcoin. 100 Bitcoin, $55,000 put option, anytime between now and the end of the year. Okay? Anybody that wants to do that, direct message me. We'll do a paper trade. I'll let somebody hold the funds. Let me know how much protection you want, and I'll give it to you. Because I'm a buyer at these levels. I just do not see how could this fade out to 30? It could. Okay, I don't think it'll hold there very long. But if you're waiting for 30, dude, I'm going to have bids at 35, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, all day, every day. I think those days are over. We have too much volume getting ready to come into the ETF. I'm not talking about the money that's come into the ETF. I don't think that's the real money yet. The real money is getting ready to come in. And the money we have seen into Bitcoin so far, I think most of the money that moved from about 25 to 44 was insider money, Wall Street, not Bitcoin money, Wall Street money and some front runners on the Bitcoin exchange. But these were friends of BlackRock and all the other players, Fidelity, that knew this was coming. People jumped on the bandwagon, made 20, 25 grand. They will now come out and sell if they have not already. And then this is now real accumulation. In the next 3 months, you're going to see some of the largest buyers in the world begin to buy Bitcoin. In the United States, this is some of the richest, biggest money on the planet, and will extend well beyond the United States because these are global now ETFs. We have Hong Kong going live. I think that's been reported, and the result is today or tomorrow, ETFs in both Bitcoin and Ethereum take place. And I just do not understand how this can be negative for Bitcoin. If we have a nuclear war, if we have more insanity, which it does not appear that we're having that, it appears that governments are putting their foot down and saying, no, we're not going to support this anymore. Because the truth is, Americans don't want this. No one wants this, okay? I'd love to run another vote. Do you want the United States to continue funding wars wherever they are? Okay, we have so many problems in our own backyard. I don't know why we just don't deal with our own shit first, and then we can begin to intervene when we're perfect and everything's like we've solved all our issues. Then we can start to intervene with other people. Ryan, how do I pick up these comments again? Yeah, do you want war in do you want the United States in war? Love to hear the votes, okay? Anyone that wants us to go to war. Look at you, man. This is Ryan, guys. Ryan, why don't you pop in here? This is the guy that's doing all my camera work and the edit work. So all those compliments you guys give us, it ain't me doing it, it's him doing it.
All the hate too, send it my way. I'll take it.
Yeah. And good luck on trying to hire him. Let's see. We got 83% of the people so far, 31 votes saying that they don't want war. Now 16% say they want war. I'd love to meet you cats. If anybody that says they want war or they think war is good, can you guys reach out to me? I'd love to do an interview with you and understand what the logic is. Welcome to Costco. Wow, I haven't shopped at Costco since COVID-19. I used to spend $1,500 a week there, $6,000 a month, $72,000 a year. And they asked me to put a mask on, and I have never, ever returned to that store, have never spent 72 grand a year, never will spend 72 grand a year at that store or any other store that requires me to wear a mask. Anyway, sorry, welcome to Costco. I assume you're not Costco. I love you, they say. Is this financial advice? Is this financial advice? It is financial advice for me. See, I'm having a therapy session right now with myself, and I have, free of charge, I've allowed you guys to come in and see how Gary keeps his mental, psychological profile in a consistent, non-reactive manner so that I can continue to provide for my family and provide back into society. Like, my interest in investing in this space is one, I find it's really intellectually stimulating, like massively intellectually stimulating. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be here. Two, for me to have an intellectual thesis and not to deploy investment, energy, money, fuel behind it, it's a little bit like having an airplane. You know, if you have an airplane and you're asking me what it costs to put gasoline in it, I'm almost convinced that you really don't own an airplane. Like, I don't look at what it costs me to fly an airplane. I look at the cost of the airplane, but flying it, the airplane is not worth anything if I don't have any fuel in it, like, right? So I'm not going through all this mental masturbation about Bitcoin and not placing an investment right behind that, which I would encourage everyone to do. If you have a comment on a market and you think it should, the price should go down, why aren't you shorting it? This never made any sense to me that somebody would make commentary but not put any money behind it. So Alexandra Zatuni says, hey, Gary, is Grant getting more open to investing in Bitcoin? I have no idea why you guys are so fascinated with whether my brother is interested in Bitcoin or not. Who cares, dude? My brother, Grant Cardone, isn't going to move this market. 30 Grant Cardones aren't going to move this market. If they delay, they will all come in, okay? Now, having said that, Grant made a post the other day that he's selling one of his homes. He should probably market the one in Malibu that he bought. I think that was probably a big mistake. But do we care if he's really selling it or not? He just made a PR marketing sales promotion to sell his home for Bitcoin. That's all we need, dude. You got a billionaire or somebody that says he's a billionaire, or you know, the social media sites say he's a billionaire, saying that he is interested in accepting Bitcoin for a home. I don't really care if he does it or doesn't do it. I will tell you, I have a home right here. The only way I would sell this home, in fact, I had someone from Canada call me today, and maybe she's listening. They want to come in and videotape the whole home and then send that videotape to the family in Canada. Family in Canada wants to buy the house. And I'm like, you know, the only way I sell this home is I get 14 million divided by 62,000 right now, and they drop a bunch of Bitcoin on me that they can have the house. I think I've worked this deal out so well now that we do everything from here. All my broadcastings from here, all my business activities from here. I interview people here. This is a secure site now. It's going to become almost very difficult. And this could become a trend where you have these really large homes that they don't sell in the future. Like, they're not available because we've changed all the way we do our taxes, all our costs are associated with an activity we're wrapping around our lives. And I have there's no inventory in Florida. So where am I going to go? I need a large space for my children, for protection animals, for my whole crew here that's expanding by the day. And it's a really cool environment. Like, I don't know how I can replicate this. So why would I get into a big panic about selling a house in a market that's not really that liquid right now anyway? I don't have many other options, and the only reason would be for me to deploy it into what would 14 million, that's what this home is worth. 14 million divided by 62,000, it buys me 225 Bitcoin. Now I start getting interested, right? Because 225 Bitcoin, now that gets me closer to my 1,000, the 1,000 Bitcoin that I'd like to own before the age of 65. I'm writing that down, okay? I own 1,000 Bitcoin before the age of 65. By the way, anyone that wants to know the consistent and only thing I have ever done to be successful in my life, you just saw it, okay? I do this every time. I own 1,000 Bitcoin before the age of 65. Okay, I wrote it down. Now I told you. And somehow the universe has a way of helping me get there. So if I don't accomplish my 1,000 Bitcoin by the time I'm already 65. 70, okay? 70, 4 to 5 years from now. If I don't achieve that, it'll be the first time I have not achieved a goal that I wrote down and communicated to other people. Sound magic? Love to have a show on it one day, okay? Like I have many dozens of experiences where I put it out in the universe, I write it down, I communicate about it, and it just happens. If you guys would be interested in that kind of a show, in fact, Ryan, I'd love to bring on some other really, really successful people that have built careers and have a show just on that, because I think that's more important than Bitcoin. The way you think in your mind is far more important than just the story of Bitcoin. Let's read a few more comments. How long have we been going here?
45.
We've been going 45. They like me doing these 45 and 1 hour things, and then I start talking, I start going crazy. I hate getting here, like starting. And then when I start, I'm like, no, let's not end. Let's keep going. Got a few more comments here. Bitcoin trader Callie. I can't get the Instagram link to load. Gary Cardone. Yeah, dude. Marky Marks doesn't like me, okay? And I am not going to keep begging Marky Marks to keep my Instagram account. Fuck off, Mark. You and Facebook, just fuck off. It's impossible to work with you guys. Look at previous cycles around the halving. This will make you feel better. In 8 months, it will be therapy sessions wondering if you should sell your fat stacks. Yeah, I won't be having that problem. Now, it's not to say that I will never sell my Bitcoin, but I will not be doing that in 8 months. Write down your goals to turn them into affirmations, says Yazer Doink. Agreed, bro, agreed. 30 fund managers have declared ownership of BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. Bloomberg Eric Balchuna says, yeah, I know some of those guys. They bought into it. I tried to get into the bloody thing, but I'm not well connected enough, so I wasn't invited to the party. And I think I vote for the wrong people. Yeah, let's see. Domingo Bonello. Gary, for us folks who can't afford a whole Bitcoin, what is a good amount to have? Look, you can't think about this like this, okay, that you can't afford a whole Bitcoin. First off, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. I bought 0.5 Bitcoin yesterday, okay? I had $35,000. I said, hey, I'm going to put all 35,000. I want to buy it 62.4 or 62.5. I can't remember what the number was. If it hits 62.5, bang, smash it out. I bought half a Bitcoin. If you wanted to put in $3,500, you could do the exact same thing. You'd buy $3,500 divided by 62.238, 64 right now, and that would be your allocation of Bitcoin. Look, you just keep adding, okay? I had 10 shares of IBM once, and over the years, I kept adding to that IBM until I sold it. You start now, okay? You start now. Don't worry about, it's just $3,500. It's going to be the $3,500 most stable money you've ever spent if it's a 4 to 8 year cycle. Now, if you have debt, okay, this is financial advice. If you have debt with credit cards at 23, 25, 26%, Pay that shit off, dude. Go to work on the weekends and get rid of that. That is a anchor. Imagine swimming in the ocean. Okay, you are swimming in a financial ocean. You're getting older every day. You wait. Okay, you're swimming along, and you have this anchor around you. You have Visa, MasterCard, and Bank of America, and all these people grabbing $17 extra from you. How can you possibly stay afloat if you have all this debt anchoring you down, holding you down? Similar, in fact, in my opinion, to owning a home, because it really sucks a lot of energy out of your life, both financially and in terms of time. Bam Bam says, I lost $1,500. Second made 15 and saved 10. The cycle I've turned into 10 grand at 100. Yeah, he's turned 100 grand. He's made 10 grand, turned it into 100. Good for you, dude. Good for you. Let's see. Allie says we're going to hit 50 before it goes up. Okay, dude. Well, I'm sure you have some. I'm sure you sold it here at 62, right? You've sold it. I take it. Let's see. Dale Blast. Gotta say, Gary, you are doing way better than I am. So I'll stop talking shit. I'm glad I subbed to your channel. Thank you, dude. That's a really nice way of saying it. Look, we're all in this together, man. Okay? Like, to me, if I was the only one in this wouldn't be any fun. I like hanging out with you guys. I think we're all going to become very wealthy if we really, really sit down, put our minds together, figure out how we help each other instead of how are we different. How are we the same? You know, I'm going to leave you with that thought, actually. I think that's a great way to end it. This show is. Today, I would ask you, when you interact with someone, whether you like them or not, is there anything that you can agree with me? Instead of looking at me going, okay, this guy's been really successful, which may or may not be true. Like, I've had 3 failed marriages. Is that successful? So I've had, like, I don't know. I know some people that go, nah, dude, I don't want that. Well, it was the journey I went on. And I don't think I'm a failed human being because I've had 3 failed marriages. Maybe marriage has failed. Or maybe I'm a failed human being. Whatever. Who cares, dude? Who cares? Does anybody really care here? No one cares. What you do care about is if I'm a criminal, if I'm a bad guy, and that I'm not. So, may not be a great husband, but I am an honorable human being, and I shall remain that way till the day I die. God willing, I don't go crazy. Gary, thanks, Okran Kurt. Gary, thanks for your stream, brother. I watched the interview with you and Soloway at Kitco. It was that show, I think Kitco got like 750,000 views on that. That's a big show for them. That was 3 or 4 weeks ago. I said, look, every chart on the planet saying we're going to war. And what did we do the other night? Anyway, guys, back on the positive. If you could look around your universe today and just look at who you know and what you can agree with, rather than, it's just so easy to look at my hair and go, well, I don't like his haircut, or he shouldn't be wearing that shirt. What is it about me that you can identify that you do like, right? What is it about me that is adding value instead of, well, Gary interviewed Crypto Crow and he's now an enemy of the Bitcoin state. Look, I'm not the enemy of the Bitcoin state. Come on. I'm just trying to help educate people and bring people together. So I love you guys. Really appreciate you following the space. I will do more of these. I need input from you as to what you want to see, if you like them. If you don't like them, like, this is a lot of work for me. Oh, we're getting close to breaking 62 here, there, Ryan. Might need to call the old bankaroonie up and ask them for permission for my money so I can move my money somewhere. Ooh. Now, that doesn't happen to me, by the way. I read something on Twitter today. A guy said, hey, I had $1,500 in the bank and I'm trying to get it and they won't give it to me. That never happens to me. If that's happening to you, you guys should really figure out I'd write serious letters, okay? But I have not had that problem. The other problem, I've never had a bank steal money from me. I've had banks try to charge me fees that were bullshit, and it's my job to call them back up and go, hey, I'm not paying these fees. But I've never woke up one morning and the money in the bank was gone. The money itself is degrading in value. I can just tell that by trying to buy a Range Rover or trying to buy a carton of eggs. That dollar ain't going as far. This little thing right here, this thing is not going very far anymore. Okay, this is what did somebody say the other day? It cost $18 to go to Taco Bell. $18. That's less than 6 meals. Okay, boom. Okay, I used to go to Taco Bell and $10 would cover 3 people. So that's what inflation is. What I'm interested in inflating is how many of you look around your world today and spot something in a human being, maybe that you don't like, but that you find something you can relate to, compliment the guy on, approve, say something nice, be a good human being, and buy some more Bitcoin. Now that is life advice, okay? Except for the last part, buy some more Bitcoin. Only if you have the money, only if you don't have debt, and only if you can afford to lose it. That would be both life and financial advice. Otherwise, you guys need to do what you need to do with your own future. I'm here. I'm trying to make a difference. I'm glad you're part of my world. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.